Hey everybody, and welcome to the FFL Solidity team call. My name is Marisa Maggio. Super excited to be on today, going into the final week of July of 2023. So very exciting. But each and every week, we really sit back and think, who can we have on that's truly going to add value to the team and be able to really kind of hit on direct, paths, so to say, that we're going through at this time. And really, the person who came to mind over the last couple of weeks is Dominique Rogers. Now, before I go ahead and introduce Dominique's somebody that when I first came to Family First Life, hearing his phone training, which was all of about 6 minutes, literally changed what I sounded like on the phone. It helped me understand essentially the psychology behind the phone call. And guys, that might sound really silly, but the phone is needs to be our best friend in this business. So without further ado, Dom, thank you so much for being on with us today. Integrity partner, crushing it out there in California. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be on with us today. How are you doing?
I cannot be doing any better. I've been looking forward to this.
Awesome. Well, we're excited
Yeah.
to have you for sure. Um, so Dom, if you don't mind just quickly introducing yourself, who you
Yeah.
are, kind of why you came into FFL, and then just really hitting it off with activity and what that should look like as an agent.
All right, cool. I got some notes that I took down from the message you shot me earlier. So if I miss anything, let me know and we'll work it out. How long does this go? About 30 minutes or so?
About 30 minutes, yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, again, thank you for having me on. You guys, what you guys are doing on both ends, virtually, in person, recruiting, just it's very inspiring. And I've over the years have seen you and your team just grow from just learning how to sell, right? To like, all right, come on, working 20 grand, 30 grand. Now we're breaking 100 grand a month. Now you got people doing 30, 40 grand in a month in multiple, right? Your top five is, well over 100 grand. Makes sense. Just five agents, right? So, I mean, so that to see that growth is really awesome. And I'm very humbled to be asked to be a part of something that's growing because you can I'm like big on like, don't mess it up. Like if it's working, just like, I don't want to come in and like mess anything up. So I'm going to do my best to, give you some perspective on the phone, in home versus virtual. Okay. And then also recruiting to both ends, if that's fair. All right. So
That
I've been
sounds
in this
perfect.
industry now for 11 years. This is my 11th year in the industry. I started when I was 24, 36 now. And it has been a wild ride. Okay. I got into this because my buddy was doing it. I played college baseball and my buddy started doing it during the off season and he was playing pro ball. So I was like, if you're playing pro ball and you can do it during the off season, then I can do it during all my season since I don't play pro ball. Right. That's all people are like, yo, what did you need to like hear to start this? I was like, somebody who I knew, respected, who had more money than me was doing it. And I was like, that's it. I didn't look for anything else. You're like, you didn't ask any other questions. Nope. Didn't ask anything else. Met Sean Mike and I was like, damn, this guy is crazy. Right. I never met anybody from New England. He's the first person I ever met. And I was like, damn, dude, this guy is crazy as hell. I thought he was a black dude when I talked to him on the phone. Right. Talked to him on the phone. He was like, yo, yo. I was like, oh shit. Okay, cool. I didn't even know they have black people in Connecticut. And then I met him and I was like, oh shit, you're white. Damn. All right. Well, all good. You know what I mean? And so it was but just to let you, I didn't know anything. My buddy was Marcus Jones, played baseball. I was like, all right, shoot, like might have just met somebody and they're trying to, I didn't know what the hell was going on. But it was leads. All right. So that was the biggest thing that stuck to me. I liked Sean. I had my buddy who was doing it, but there was leads. That was it. I didn't understand anything to do with insurance. I didn't even understand leads, really what they were. I just knew what cold calling was, and I knew this was the opposite. Like, you don't ever have to be in sales to know what cold calling is. Is that fair to say? Like, I never sold anything. My son, he's 5 years old. I was like, if I said cold calling him, he'd figure it out. He'd be like, huh, okay. Like, that's probably calling somebody who didn't want you to. Yeah, that's it. Don't do that. So I was into it purely because there was forms that people filled out for insurance. And there was a guy who I liked who could teach me how to sell to those people, period. He could have had bricks that he was selling. If they would have had leads and he was selling the bricks, I would have been selling bricks. And 11 years later, I did not fall in love with the insurance industry until later. Okay. I fell in love with the process and who I was working with initially. Fair to say? All right. And if anybody, you may be different, right? But I think there's whatever moves you. That's what moved me. Okay. I came into this business, it was all in home and final expense. All right. So if we had some mortgage leads, but they act like it was like Narnia and you couldn't get them. And I was like, this is weird. Like, they're like, you can't get the mortgage leads because I'm like, yeah, because y'all don't want to spend the money on the mortgage leads. That's why we can't get them. But we had final expense leads. And I had to get good on the phone. All right. My first 3 weeks, I remember I booked a total of probably like 7 appointments. My first month, I wrote like 14,000, but 12,000 was warm market. So I really wrote 2,000 for the month. Now, the warm market helped me build confidence, write apps. Like if you get in a business and people don't support you around you, you should probably just get out of business. Like I'm not, and I'm being facetious because really what I'm saying is don't be so weak. Ask people that you know to get insurance. Like that's so weird. Like I wasn't afraid to talk to people that I knew when I started to get insurance. They'd be like, I already have it. Sweet. You don't have it for me. And I just got into a business and I get paid when you get the insurance and you need the insurance anyways. Why would you not want me to do well in my business, cousin Tom?
Amen.
Well, I already have it, Dom. I know, dude, but I just first year in business, dude, 100% commission. Why don't you help your boy out? You not want me to win? My sister's in here right now. She works with me now. But when I started, dude, I called her up. All right, my older sister. Yo, you need some life insurance. I have it at work. Great. You don't have it with me. Well, what do you mean? It's $83 a month. I need you to pay that. Yep. You pay that, and they're going to pay me. And your family. Y'all can work something out. Get creative. Okay? What I'm saying is don't just sit back and wait to go get the leads if you're a brand new agent. All right? Like, you're going to suck when you start. But there's other people with heartbeats who need insurance. That ain't going to last forever. I couldn't haggle my friends and family forever. But damn, for my first 30, 60 days, they got me. A lot of me. All right? After that, I pretty much wore them out. Right? But I did what I needed to do. If you haven't pulled $10, $12, $15,000 of premium from the people you know, you're doing something wrong. Okay? So let's just start there. First month sucked, but I learned a lot. Learned a lot that month. And then I realized, damn, dude, I'm not focusing on the phone. So although I wasn't focusing on the phone script, I was focusing on writing raw market business and stuff, which allowed me to have more money, okay, to really start dialing the leads like I should. Okay. So I got to week 4 or 5 and I was literally, I'll say about to quit. I think every day when you start, you think about quitting. Because at first, like every day you wake up, you're like, shit, quit. And you're like, I don't have anything else to do. Might as well do this. And just kept doing it. And now I'm here 11 years later. All right. But I went up to Connecticut. It was my first time flying up to Connecticut. And I was like, dude, I suck. Like, we suck. Marcus, me and my roommate, I was like, dude, we suck. Like, we're not like, and as your athlete, you want to get your name read on the leaderboard and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, they don't read when you write one app. Like, they don't really care. Like, so I need to like, I want my name read. So I flew up to Connecticut. They had a boot camp, and I flew up there on a Friday. Southwest, I remember it cost me like $300. I had like $600 in my account. Okay, I spent half of the money to fly up to Connecticut. I went up there, first time dialing with other people. First time. Remember, guys, this is 11 years ago. All right, there's no Zoom. There's none of this. There's none of all this stuff. I had to actually go there. So I flew there. I was late because it was snowing, of course. And, you know, if you're late, Sean's going to leave you outside. That's a whole side story. But, like, ask him about it. Like, Dom said, first time he flew up to Connecticut, you left him outside in the cold. Yep, he did. And crazy as hell. He's like, dude, they're late. I was like, bro, like, I can't fly the plane, bro. Like, I can't fly it. Like, they're not going to let me fly it. So first time getting around people who are dialing. And guys, I tell you what, man, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. I was dialing in my apartment for 3 or 4 weeks by myself, basically in the closet. I had my leads all spread out by zip code, right? I was so organized. It was insane how organized I was. Yeah, if you know me, you'd be like, God damn, what the hell's gotten into him, right? Like, why is everything so neat? It's because I didn't want to work. God damn it. I didn't want to work. So I was cleaning shit up. Like, I had my little stacks of leads were so nice. Everything had a 90-degree angle on it. There was no pile that was out of mess. You know what I mean? Like, I was so locked in on the stupid stuff. All right. So when I got up there to Connecticut, I saw people with leads everywhere, shit all over the place, boom, boom, boom. Like, I'm like, fuck, it's like boiler room. holy shit, what are they doing? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, dude, they're actually like with it. I'm over there taking 18 breaths in between calls. Like, so I say all that to say I had to get out of my comfort zone. I had to get out of my comfort zone. So when I got up there, I start seeing people just being loose, what could be perceived as aggressive, but they were just being forward. Okay. I was being passive. So passive is 8 appointments after 3 weeks, right? Right. And you would think, oh, that's aggressive if you have 20. It's like, nah, dude, it's just a little bit further moving forward of that line of uncomfortability. So that first day I booked 8 that trip. So that trip I booked 8. That dial session, it changed my life. Okay. Changed my life. I'll never forget it. I was up there, I was arguing with this lady on the phone, right? Nah, she's like, I didn't fill it out. I was like, yes, you did. You filled it out. Sean walks by. He goes, Dom, what are you doing? I was like, no, I'm trying to get the appointment. He goes, I know, hang up. I was like, what? He goes, hang up. He clicked it. He goes, dude, you're like, stop trying and you can start doing. Call her back. I was like, dude, I don't know what to say. He goes, you're not going to say anything. I'm going to do it. Called her back. Boom. Hey, ma'am. Yeah. Hey, this is Sean for the benefit center, just getting back to you about that postcard you sent back to us. Yeah, somebody just called me. Yeah, ma'am, we understand. But anyways, my job is simple. We got to drop this information out to you. Boom, 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 boom. Books the appointment. Okay. Now I booked 7 other ones that day. Actually, I booked 7. He booked 1. I didn't book 8. And see, I'm trying to take credit. I booked 7. Okay. So went out there the next day. All right. All my appointments no showed me. Okay. The one he booked, I wrote that damn thing $4,500. No bullshit. Okay. All that meant to me was, boy, whatever you think is isn't, and whatever you think, you know what I mean? Like you don't know. Here I am thinking this lady's the worst person ever. She's a liar. She's this, da 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 da. And then the appointments I book, who I think, oh, they're so nice. These are the people who are definitely going to say yes. They no show me. Right? It was just this mind blowing, but I was like, dude, it was worth it. I went from $600 in my account, spending $300 on a plane ticket, to $300 in my account, to the next day writing $4,500. See, sometimes you have got to put yourself in a position of uncomfortability to have different results, right? So today, if that's you today, right? What does that mean? You're on live dials. You're on there. You're on there early. You're on there late. You're with the team. You unmute yourself. You put yourself in any positions that people can help you. You're not going to be judged. Be clear. There's nobody here who's going to judge you. We all suck. All right, come on. Like this, to this day, I'm over here trying to write, I'm writing IULs and stuff right now, right? And I'm just like trying to learn it, right? So I could be like, you know what, I got to teach people how to do this stuff. So I don't want to be like, well, I just sell final expense mortgage protection. We can do more. But I'm in this learning phase right now of I can't miss stuff. You know what I mean? And when you're in this business and you're trying to figure something out, the best way to learn it is getting around people. So I'm not sitting back watching YouTube videos all day. I found some organizations who are good at writing IULs, and I said, hey, you guys mind if I start joining your calls? And they go, oh, like, yeah, we'd love to have you on and help train. I was like, on what, dude? I don't do that. So I'm actually wanting to just get on your training to learn what y'all are doing. Actually, you don't even have to introduce me or anything. I'm here to learn. Or I could be like, oh, I've been doing this so long, I should know that stuff. I'm like, dude, I don't care. I don't know. I don't know. And you can make a lot of money not knowing stuff, just so you know. Okay. But you can make a lot more and help a lot more people if you know more. All right. So that trip changed my life. I booked 8. From there on out, I had this expectation of I'm going to book 15 appointments every 2 days. If I can do that, I can do it. I can do it all the time. And I started really diving into just the phone. I wasn't focusing so much on in-home. I thought my problem was I didn't have the product for people. I didn't know the product. I wasn't connecting, but I had all these things, right? And it was really just, I just didn't have enough people to sit with. And when I just said, you know what, dude, I'm going to book 40 a week. I needed 40. I wasn't that good. And I have no patience either. Like, I'm not your salesperson that's like big on the follow-up and I understand you. And I'm not that person. Okay. I'm the type of person, if you say you want to think about it twice, I'm out. Okay. Like, you're like, oh, really? You're not going to push? Nah. Doesn't look like she wants to date me. Right. She doesn't want to, like, I don't know. I wasn't the kind if my history, if you ever just hear like, hey, like ask my wife, like, how did that happen? Like, nah, dude, like she approached me. I didn't approach her. Like, I'm not the type of guy who's gonna go holler at a girl. I'm just not it. Like, I probably missed out on a lot of opportunity because I was waiting for you to come to me, right? That's how I am with this sales. I am not gonna, so I need 40 appointments so I could take the laydowns. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't like when I started running 15, 20 a week, I have to turn into this aggressive ass salesperson, which I can be, and it's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
And Dom, I think that that's huge, right? Like the demeanor that you go in when you have, like you said, I have to be this aggressive salesperson because I only had booked 10 appointments for the week versus I booked my 40. I'm going in helping the people who want it and need it, and I'm on my merry way, right? That
but
thought process will get you to book 40 appointments.
huge. And if you just focus on the phone, just focus on the phone, right? We have new agents now. Their onboarding is 2 weeks of phone training. That's it. You're like, I'm licensed. I want to get started with you guys. Sweet. We got 2 weeks of phone training for you. You pass that, you can start booking appointments. We'll contract you. Okay? Because what's the, like, come on, you don't need to be contracted to learn how to book appointments, right? How much time do we waste contracting people and they never book appointments? Does contracting teach them how to book appointments? Nope. You see what I'm just trying to make this shit a little bit seamless. As much seamless. Now, if they're unlicensed, what do I do? Put them in class. Okay. They got a week to be 50% or done. Okay. They're done or 50% within a week. We turn them over into the phone program. So now they're going to start phone program for 2 weeks. Phone. What they're doing, they're dialing for senior agents. You got enough agents. Rami, would you be mad if you're a new agent dialed some of your older leads and got you 3, 4 more appointments for the week?
No, definitely not.
Not at all, right? Shoot. You know what I mean? Like, let's set our agents up for success. And this kind of goes into the recruiting end of it. It's like, we're selling, but at the same time, let's ensure that when people, because there's a lot of check marks that people will check off, get a license, get contracted, and then next thing you're like, dude, they don't even know how to book an appointment. They don't even know how to do this. Like, let's get all that stuff out of the way, because the person who could book 10 or 15 appointments is the person I want to work with. That's the person I want to work with. Now, you're going to have to slow down in your process. You're going to have to not be so thirsty and want to get people in the field so fast. I know. I'm that guy. I was thirsty as hell. I was like, let's get in the field. Like, that was my thing. I was all about speed, get in class. How fast can you get through class? How fast can I get you on the phone? Well, I'm going to get the Thors of the world, right? But I ain't going to get the average. You know what I mean? I'm going to miss. But the average person, if you put them through a decent structured process of something very simple, they could be Thor in 2 weeks. Right? And if Thor doesn't like I slow him down for 2 weeks, fuck it. I miss Thor. You know what I'm saying? Because going after Thors, I'm going 1 out of 100. Right? But I'd rather go 30 out of 100 slowing down. Makes sense? So that's, just to kind of loop all of this together with the phone. Like, it's all starts with the phone. Your recruiting needs to, I'm talking to people on recruiting, like to onboard us, to come to work with us. I let them know, hey, this is before you become a commission-based sales agent, okay? You're going to be scheduling appointments, and we're going to pay them for scheduling appointments too. Rami, would you be mad if I was your new agent, I booked you 5 appointments, and you had to pay me $10 for every appointment I booked, and every close, you had to pay me 20? Would that be bad?
No, not at all.
Right? Be cool, right? You pay me $100, and then as a new agent, I get to join you on the telesale or the Zoom and hear how you make the sale.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Like, why not? Right? They don't need a license to do any of that shit. But they do need to be the right person. Right? And the right person's going to do that stuff with or without a license. Sometimes we think that the license or the contract is the release into what actually matters. And that's just the release to get paid. But to the release to do what actually matters, bro, they could do that. They could do that today. Right? I'm in this office with Tara. Is this kind of making sense to you? It's like there's a lot of people who just won't and give them that role. Like, how many people are afraid to hop straight into commission? A lot. You talk to them, right? What if you let them know that, hey, dude, like, You come in here, dude, your expectation is you book 15 appointments. All right, 15 appointments for senior agents. At the minimum, that's $150 for you. If they double up, that's $300 for you. If you suck, you just suck and you don't make anything. But I guess that's better than we didn't waste any time. You didn't waste any time. Okay.
It's very true. That makes a lot of sense.
Imagine as a new agent, though, how much confidence I can have telling my parents, girlfriend, wife that, yeah, it's 100% commission, but for the first 2 weeks, I get paid. I'm an appointment setter and I get paid per appointment I book.
Absolutely.
And I mean,
huge.
just hitting the brakes on that. Just like, that's what we do. We're going to do that. And the person who comes in, no, I'm good. We're still going to make them do that. It's like there's just processes, dude. I work at Bank of America. It doesn't matter if you worked at Wells Fargo before, you're going to go through Bank of America's training, right? I think we skip that a lot of the times. We become so damn independent, we lose our posture, we lose our structure. You know what I mean? We kind of let people just kind of do what they feel. And doing what they feel leads you to really low turnover or high turnover, low conversion. Make sense? And I want to convert a lot more, and I want to retain a lot more. And I want people, when they get contracted with us, when folks get contracted, I'm going to know that they could book appointments. Think about that. How dope would that be? That every person you contract, you already know. I know this guy knows the script. I know this person knows how to triple dial people. I know that. And if they don't know, they don't get contracted. I'm not wasting no time, no air, no nothing. I'm done.
Right.
So I can
Game
kind of
changer.
keep going with that, but that kind of loops all of this together. So any questions, comments, which y'all got?
For sure. I mean, I think it's important that you stay on phone script. And Dom, I think it's important because whether you're virtual, you're in home, you're kind of doing a little bit of both, it doesn't matter. Regardless, you need that strong stance on the phone.
On the phone.
And like you said, like you don't need a license to dial the phone and book people appointments. So it's almost like if you can get paid for doing that, like just coming in, knowing nothing about the business except this is how we're going to get started. Like you said, you're going to get paid before commission. That's absolutely huge. So Heather, if you want to unmute yourself, go for it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I was just curious. Thank you for being on, Dom.
Absolutely. And great week.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
With what you guys are doing, I think it's a super idea, and I've actually thought about it. But logistic wise, do you guys give them somebody's calendar, or is it just a general booking in the States? And because we're all over the country, I'm literally in Texas.
Yes. All right. So cool thing is, great question. We're figuring all this out. This is like something like we're in the midst of implementing, but I'm 100% sure it will work. It's not like, will it work? Does that make sense? It's not like you just have to stick to it. So they're going to be booking. This is a multi-level type of deal to where it's going to help them get trained on how to book appointments, and they're going to build relationships with other people. See, you may have hired them, Heather, but now they're dialing for Rami, right? And now Rami is going to talk to them about his schedule, what that looks like, why he's doing it that way. Rami will take him to his appointments with him virtually to help him out. Does that make sense? It actually makes your job so much easier, right? And they're just going to meet all these different people. So it's a cross-pollinating type of activity as well, to where you may have, you may be a team of one, right? And you're like, I don't really need them to book all my appointments. I don't have the people. That's fine. All right. Solidity has the people. Does that make sense? Use all of Solidity's people to help your new agents get on the board, right? And that new agent who they're booking for, the only thing that they have to agree with is that they're going to pay them. And we do $10 for an appointment, all right, that they sit with. A no-show is a no-show. You don't get paid, all right? It is what it is. But they sit with them, $10, they close them, $20. And you have gotten the only way you get paid the $20 if you close them is if you're a part of the appointment. Meaning you're a fly on the wall, you're listening in. Make sense? Like this is the thing about that. 2 weeks of that. You're either going to quit and not be an expense on anybody, right? Or you're going to be a freaking beast ready to start with crazy confidence.
Definitely going to go one way or the other, but that's the beauty.
That's
of
it,
right?
Right?
Like,
but the other way, the left to where they're out, they're like, dude, it didn't cost you any time, energy, or effort. I didn't say go in the CRM and buy new leads for them. I said give them the leads that you already got. You got thousands and thousands and thousands of leads. Give them the oldest ones with blow dust off of them. Make sense? There you go. It's a test. It's a test.
I love it. And, Dom, kind of with that being said, I think it's important to just let, being 1099 independent contractors, like understanding sometimes we put a lid on ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think that this kind of takes a part in that, so to say. And what I mean by that is when we're almost removing, that limiting belief from the jump, right? Of, hey, I can't, or I'm not good enough to help 50 families a month, or I could never help 20 families a month, or whatever that lid is, or I could never book 30 appointments, right? I love how you're saying you're kind of removing that from the beginning and saying, like, you can be whoever you want to be. It's just going to be contingent upon how hard you want to work. And that's
Right.
really going to be contingent upon a couple of things, the phones, and then you showing up. Because I love how you're saying, like, they have to be listening in to get paid their $20 because that's how they're training and learning. So that's huge because I feel like that also pushes limiting beliefs to the side and people are just ready to go at that point. I know if I listened in for 2 weeks, I would be like, is it my turn yet? Because at
Yeah,
that point,
right. And they see
you
all the money that they're not making, right?
exactly.
They're like, dude, I got paid $300, but damn, Rami got paid 13,000. Damn, on the appointments that I helped him with. What,
Right.
girl? I'm getting crazy, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I think about, but there's a lot of sales organizations, you guys, outside of what we do, who do it this way. It's actually really normal. Makes sense? It's actually not normal for people just to come in and do things on their own. Makes sense? It's actually like, that's actually not the normal way to do stuff, right? But, we learn, and I think what we did 10 years ago isn't what we need to be doing 10 years later, which is why we have to change. Do you know what I mean? 10 years ago, we had to be crazy and just, riding on horses with, you know what I mean? Just like, raw, like, dude, you don't got to do that no more, bro. Like, it's good. Like, there's Uber.
That's true. It's true. And, like you said, the industry has definitely changed. Just even being in it 7 years, it's like you see from start to finish, like right now, just what it looks like. And, it's just this evolving, enormous industry. But like you said, we're always kind of working around it. How can we be better for ourselves, be better for our groups, and just be better for the industry, right? So I love how you were like, guys, it's not abnormal to do something like that. It's normal to have a training and then get started, right? Like it's normal to know you got the base before you're working on building the whole house, right?
Very normal. And I think this is going to help your recruiting. I can see our recruiting just start to go, wow, the person who was like, a little iffy on 100% commission, or they heard all this X, Y, or Z. Dude, they're going to pay me for 2 weeks for working. Do you know what I mean? Like, that seems pretty dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's very minimal to you, massive to them. In the long play, confidence is the real value that they're going to get. They may be looking at $300, $150, $10 an appointment, but what you're looking at as a leader is the confidence that they're going to grow with, and
Absolutely.
the confidence they're going to give you to invest in them. I like to invest in agents, so it's a test to go, how many chips do we put in? A lot of folks and guys and girls I hired, they don't have tons of money in the bank. I'm hiring 21, 22-year-old guys and girls who, dude, they don't have much. But if they got the will and desire to do what I tell them to do, I'll definitely have the finances to back them up. Make sense? But without structure, your finances don't mean shit. Make sense? Doesn't mean anything. You could throw money in the wind all day, or spit in the wind. That's what Sean used to say. Spit in the wind is gonna come back and hit you in the face. Makes sense? And that's what happens, dude, when you buy leads for people who aren't adequately trained, who aren't plugging in, does that make sense? Doing all those things. And you can hire the wrong people if you just have this idea of speed in mind, right? Like, let me just get them through the class fast. Let me just get them on the phone fast. Because people will just do stuff fast just to get it done. It feels good. But getting it done isn't getting paid here. We have to make sure that people are actually getting paid.
And last thing, just kind of hit around that, and you just really kind of hit on it. We used to, like you said, it used to kind of be like, not let's hire everybody, but essentially like, let's help everybody get started, right? Or let's get everybody onto the team, and it might look like a big mess, but we'll just kind of clean it up. I feel like we're kind of taking a backwards approach of like, hey, let's see who is joining the organization, if they're the proper fit, and then let's move and pace with them, so to say.
Right.
How are you, kind of with you kind of implementing these changes and deciding almost like you said, like the confidence to invest in somebody, that means they're probably going to work out here if you feel really good about that, right? But with that, how much more has that helped you just looking at your group saying like, I'm doing the right thing versus like, hey, I contracted, 15 agents this week, but only one got moving. Like,
Right.
how has that helped your mindset?
It gives you when your input and output, there's not this big discrepancy, you always feel good. Do you know what I mean? And you want to be excited. You want to know that when you're bringing people into something over time, if your conversion rate is low, you're going to feel it after a while, right? And you're going to start to go like, damn, we're doing a lot of work for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what's happening? And that's where you got to start slowing down and like, is it worth it to have these numbers, or should I just slow down and take more time with the people that I have, right? Or am I hiring the wrong people too? There's some of that too. And the reason I'm hiring the wrong people is because I'm not asking the qualifying questions that are really going to get people to say I'm in, or you know what, this ain't for me right now. I was doing a training, I think, was it yesterday? I was talking to somebody and we were talking about oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. You ever think of like 18 things at one time? That's what just happened.
Oh yeah, like every day, all day.
I was like, oh, this thought just coming on. I'm sorry. What was that? What was I? It may come back to me. Where was I at?
We were just talking about like essentially who you're bringing on, so like the numbers of conversion
Oh,
versus how it feels.
got it. All right. So you want to bring people you want to have the confidence that when you bring them in, they're actually going to win. Do you know what I mean? You want to know that like when they come in, I have things set up for them. The odds are in their favor. Okay. And when you're 1 for 15, 1 for 20, you lose that excitement and you start recruiting just to get people to say yes. Okay. Versus being real with them. Okay. So when I started seeing my conversions drop, I got a little bit more easier with like, okay, well, maybe I don't, let's like kind of like gloss over the chargebacks, or let me just kind of go out, like not really bring up the no shows, or let's not really talk about, how people get emotionally like up and down and spend all their money. And you know what I mean? Like, or how the spouse may be negative, right? Like I'm like, sometimes maybe I wasn't bringing up the reality of what we do. I was just talking about the good stuff that comes from what we do.
Right.
And you've got to get real with people. Like, Marissa, hey, you're going to have days, you're going to go out there, dude, you're going to have 9 appointments. You're going to sit with 8 of them and you're going to write like $12,000. Then you're going to have a day that you have 12 appointments and you sit down with 3 and 2 of them tell you F off. And one says they're going to call the cops on you because you're the meanest person in the world. How do you respond? Well, what do you mean? You mean like they're going to call the cops on me? And yeah, they could. I don't know if they could, but I'm 100% sure you're going to get no showed like that. The whole cop thing, I'm not too sure. All right, I was pretty aggressive, but for you, you're going to have 9 no shows in a day. I'm sure of it. Are you still going to hop on a training that night? Or are you going to go, oh, it's too bad for me? Well, how would you respond if that was you? I need to know. Because these are some things that I've seen over my years in the business that people have been crazy excited. They can do it. They actually make sales. But when things don't go the way that they expect, they curl up, they fold up, and that becomes a problem. It's never, can people do this? It's, can people consistently do this? And your emotions get in the way. So how would you respond in those situations?
Love it.
See, I wasn't doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just like in the home, you're like, well, I wonder why they canceled the policy. I'm like, dude, you didn't ever really sold it. You put the draft date out 30 days. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, I was put, like, me hiring like that is like writing draft date business. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, dude, you mean I got to pay for this? Yeah, bro, what you mean? Like, you mean like this is a real business? Like, I don't get to keep all the money? Yeah. Oh, it's my fault. I failed you. Right? So maybe that's a terrible example, but there's multitude of different things that you can highlight during your interview that you can give people stories. It can be personal stories, personal things that you went through. That I would kind of omit a lot of things. Not omit, but like just think, oh, well, I'm too good. Why would I talk about when I wanted to quit? Or no, now I tell people, hey, dude, when I started, I wanted to quit every day. But the thing that kept me going was that I plugged into the calls and there was people who believed in me. All right. So I'm gonna let you know when you start, there's gonna be days that you don't want to do this. Know that I believe in you. All right. Now, if you don't believe in you, all right, I'm still gonna believe in you. But if it goes too long of you not believing in you, I'm gonna pull out and I'm gonna believe in somebody else. But I need you to know that I got your back. Does that make sense? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And the
I
thing
need
is,
them
Dom,
to.
is like what
Yeah.
you just like ripped right there. It's like that's the reality of it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, period, end of story. So it's like if we can just tell people what to expect when they're coming in, how it's gonna make, like you said, sharing personal stories. Like you don't need to tell them how, you know, you went in the McDonald's parking lot and you threw your soda and then you went out and you put it in the
Right.
trash because you felt bad. But like, you know what I mean? Like, but you gotta
Hey, you
share.
can tell that was a real story, yo. Like, that really happened to her. Like, yo, that's a real story that happened to her, by the way.
Dumb. My mom lived by like you cannot litter. So if I've ever littered, I have picked it up. Like I may have littered before, but you better
She
believe
caught
I picked it up.
herself angry. Like, oh no, that's not me. I can't do that. I don't litter, but I'm angry. I love it.
Right.
I love it.
You know, so right, but like, you know, you got to share those stories because then people also understand where you're coming from in certain scenarios of like you're not being mean when you're like, oh, you got no showed 9 times, got it, like normal, like you now they understand where you're coming from and you're able to connect at a different level. So I love
Correct.
that. This
Huge.
call's been invaluable, Dom. Truly.
Thank you so much
Truly.
for having me on.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you, everything that you do. Whenever you train, I know that I'm listening and we appreciate you. Kill it
Right
this
on.
last week. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Right on. Thank you, guys. Anybody needs to reach out, give me a shout. I hope to see you guys at one of these fall conferences.
For
Peace
sure.
out.
Thanks, Dom.
Thanks again.
Thanks.